Hi friends, welcome to Beautifully Bookish Bethany. Today's video is my fall TBR. At this point, I'm doing quarterly TBRs, so you get a feel for what books are coming in the next few months. Because this is my fall TBR, we're taking a look at what I'm going to be reading through the end of 2025. So this is October, November, and December. I have this split up into 3 sections. First is books that I'm definitely going to be reading because of book clubs that I host or I'm a part of. Then I have physical books to review and digital books to review. Anything else is extra. Will I get to everything on this list? Probably not, but I should get to the majority of it. And this will give you a pretty good idea of what's coming up if you're interested in the next few months on my channel. The main thing here is books for my Patreon and channel member book club. Every month we have a theme and patrons have the chance to vote on which book we're going to read. So I have all 3 books through the end of the year. Come hang out. It's a good time if you're interested. Starting in October for spooky season this year, we went with a middle grade horror novel, and the book that won was Root Magic by Eden Royce. I've heard really good things about this. It is set in Louisiana with Black protagonists. It's supposed to be a pretty spooky read, but it is designed for kids, so hopefully it'll work for people who are less into horror as well. I'm looking forward to finally getting to that. Then in November, in honor of Native American Heritage Month, we are reading genre fiction from an Indigenous author, and the book that won was Venko by Cherie Dimaline. This, I think, is a blend of horror and fantasy, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. It has something to do with witches and corporations. I don't know. I've had this on my TBR for a while and I'm looking forward to diving in November. And then lastly, in December, the theme was books that we meant to get to but didn't. And so some patrons had the chance to suggest books. So some of this was books from my TBR that I meant to read this year and didn't get to, and then they suggested for some from theirs. The book that ended up winning, I shouldn't even be surprised. I feel like any time a book from this author is on a poll in my Patreon, it is the book that wins, and I'm not complaining about it. Even if I have already read this book, it is a good one. So we're going to be reading Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is a kind of creepy retelling of Snow White from a very different perspective, and I think it'll be an interesting one for book club. So those are the 3 book club picks that are rounding out the rest of the year. The only other book club book that I know of that I'm reading is I'm part of an in-person romance book club, and in October I know what we're reading, which is A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole, which should be interesting. I know this is a earlier 2000s paranormal romance. I've heard her stuff can be a wild ride, so I am looking forward to it. It should be fun. With that said, we're going to move on to books I have for review. I'm going to start with digital arcs on NetGalley, and then I will show you the physical books that I have for review. A few of these you may have seen on my summer TBR. Shh. If you saw them, no you didn't. We're going to get to them. We're getting them. First up is A Waltz on the Wild Side by Erica Ridley. This is the final book in a really great historical romance series that I love, with a fun, wild family and hijinks. And this is a romance with one of the final adopted siblings who trains animals for spy work. So it should be fun. I also have The First Thousand Trees by Premi Mohammed. This is dystopian sci-fi. It's the 3rd novella in a series, and I have loved both of the other 2 novellas. I am really looking forward to the 3rd installment. I don't want to say too much, but it is set in near future Canada and follows a young woman who's kind of coming of age in this world where there's like a fungus that sort of takes over and kills humans. And the last 2 novellas have both been excellent. I look forward to seeing where this one goes. Next is Honey Eater by Kathleen Jennings. This is another horror novella, I believe. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I remember it looked intriguing and I requested it on NetGalley, so we're going to read it. A Land So Wide by Erin A. Craig. I am behind on this. I think it's already out as of this filming. It is her adult debut. Spooky, contemporary, with maybe some like fantasy, speculative vibes. I don't know exactly, but I love her writing. I like the way she writes books. I'm looking forward to this. On audio from NetGalley, I have Red City by Marie Lu, which is also her adult debut, and I'm very, very excited. This one has been compared to like Jade City, so I think it's going to be kind of Asian urban fantasy crime stuff, maybe. So we'll see. But I love Marie Lu's writing and I'm looking forward to that. I also have Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. This is the latest installment in the Legends and Latte series. I think this one takes place after Legends and Lattes, maybe, not 100% certain, or involves related characters, but all of these are fun, cozy fantasies, so I will continue on in that world and enjoy myself. You Had Me at Hello World by Rona Wang. Jenny Han meets Silicon Valley in this drama-packed young adult debut novel about a Chinese-American teen who navigates a coding competition, sabotage, and first love when she's invited to a summer hackathon at MIT. Did I know this? No, I forgot. I'm sure it's going to be good. Something about it appealed to me, so that's coming out in November. I'll be reading it at some point. The Keeper of Magical Things by Julie Leong. Really excited for this. This is a companion novel to The Teller of Small... The Keeper of Small Magics? No. The something of Small Magics? Oh my god, this book. It's the companion novel to this one. It is a sapphic, cozy, adjacent fantasy romance, and I am very excited for it. The cover looks gorgeous. I really enjoyed... Why can I not think of it? I don't know. Anyway, it's a companion, and it's gonna be great. Next up, we have Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. This is gonna be a queer YA gothic horror. I read C.G. Drew's debut and it was great. I really liked it a lot. I think it's gonna not be everybody's cup of tea because it was definitely dark, but really good. So I'm excited to read the next one. I haven't read too much about it because I don't want to know. I just want to kind of go in and see how I feel about it. The Works of Vermin by Hiron Ennis. This is another horror novel, and I loved Leech by Hiron Ennis. It was so unique and so well written and so creepy, and this one feels like it's probably going to be similar. There's like, I don't know, insects or something in a big stump, or people living in a stump. I don't know. It's going to be weird and creepy, and I am here for it. Probably queer. So we're going to read that. It's going to be great. I plan to read that one in October. It's going to be good for that month. Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce. This is a horror novella by a Black author. I think the cover was what drew me into this. I don't remember what it's about, but I saw the cover and I was like, ooh, that looks fun. I want to say like gothic vibes. I'm here for it. King of the Neuroverse by Idris Goodwin. This is a YA novel in verse. I think it's contemporary, maybe had a little bit of a speculative element to it. I'm not 100% sure. I requested it like months and months ago, but it was really early. So it's finally coming out in like November or something. So I'm going to read it soonish. Fate's Bane by C.L. Clarke. This is a sapphic fantasy novella. Really excited for this. I've read other things by C.L. Clarke that I've liked, but this is coming out from Tor.com and looks good. So those are all of the digital books that I have for review that are on my fall TBR. Next, let's take a look at the stack of physical books. First up, coming out in November, is The Bookshop Below by Georgia Summers. I have this for review from Orbit and Red Hook, and I really loved her debut novel as well. It was this lovely fantasy. This one has magical bookshops in London that are slowly disappearing. Only one dishonored bookseller can uncover the truth and rewrite the story. I feel like that sounds great. I am here for that. Next, from Saga Press, we have How to Defeat a Demon King in 10 Easy Steps by Andrew Rowe. Also, look how pretty. This is a lit RPG novel. I've never read a lit RPG novel. Apparently it's pretty popular, and it's not too long because some of them are like wildly long, which I would not dip my toes in there. But I like fantasy. I feel like this is based on like old school text-based dungeon crawlers, which seems fun. So I'm gonna give this a try and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll give it a go. Next up is this novella, Joy to the Girls by Rachel Lippincott and Allison Derrick. It is a sapphic YA holiday romance. I do love me a sapphic holiday romance. I love a holiday romance, and this is such a cute little book. It's so festive. I have this from Simon Teen, so thank you to them for sending that along. And I think they also are sending me the prequel to this, which follows related characters. It's another like sapphic teen romance. Coming out in October, another highly anticipated book is The Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. I love Tasha Suri's writing so, so much. This is a new fantasy novel. It's like medieval sapphic fantasy with a lady knight and longing. That's how I've heard her describe it. I'm ready. Give it to me. Yes. Amazing. Another novel in verse coming out in October. This is The Leaving Room by Amber McBride. There are 4 minutes between life and death. Novel in verse about a girl in between life and death. Sounds intense, but it's not very long, so I'm gonna give that one a go as well. Next is another one I'm really excited for. It's coming out in October. This is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. Another one with a lady knight, if I'm not mistaken. A moving and genre-defying quest following the reluctant knight whose legend built a nation, and the desperate scholar sent back through time to ensure she meets her tragic fate, even if it breaks his heart. I really like a lot of Alex E. Harrow's work. I feel like this is going to be good. The cover is beautiful. Looking forward to that. Coming out in October as well, we have Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I was hoping to get to this early. I didn't, but I really want to read it soon. I adored the Blood Trials duology. This is the start of a new romantasy series from N.E. Davenport. The journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers romance, and political intrigue. I love the political intrigue. As a warrior princess and a vengeful king from rival Fae courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot. I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Coming out in November, we've got The House Saphir by Marissa Meyer. This is a Bluebeard retelling. I am a sucker for a Bluebeard retelling. What's interesting about this, though, is I think it is someone going to meet a descendant of Bluebeard, and maybe his evil spirit is still lingering, something like that. It sounds fun. I'm ready for it. An interesting one coming out in October is Conform by Ariel Sullivan. This is a dystopian romance, which I've been saying for a few months now is the next big thing. I feel like romantasy has kind of maybe reached its peak. Not that it's going anywhere, but I feel like it's saturated the market a little bit. And I think what we're going to start seeing based on books we've seen released, based on some big deals, is dystopian romance. I think you can expect to see more of that. This is a debut author. Don't know too much about it, but I'm intrigued. I do like romance. I do like dystopian. I can like them together. So we're going to give that a shot and see how it goes. This just came out in September and I have not had time to read it, but it does look intriguing. This is The Moss by Lisa Ludecki. A girl, a bog, a mystery. There's like a girl whose sister has disappeared. She's haunted by a ghost from the past. I don't know, it looks spooky. I like the cover. Sounds fun. Another one that just came out that I haven't read yet, but am hoping to read very soon is While of Horror, Essays on Horror Literature, edited by Becky Siegel Spratford. This sounds so good. It has essays from authors that I absolutely adore, and when I heard about it, I was like, yes, please, thank you. This is from Saga Press, and let me tell you some of the people who have written essays. We've got Tananarive Dew, Jennifer McMahon, Josh Mallerman, Paul Tremblay, Grady Hendricks, Cynthia Pelayo, Clay McLeod Chapman, Rachel Harrison, Victor Lavelle, Stephen Graham Jones, and many more. Yes, love. I also love horror, so I think that will be really fun. And then lastly, I've got The Salvage by Anbara Salam. This goes on sale in October. It's from a smaller press called Tin House, and they reached out to me about it, and I was like, yeah, this sounds really interesting. It is 1962, and Marta Corey, a trailblazing marine archaeologist, has been called to Cairn Rock, a small island off the east coast of Scotland. A Victorian shipwreck dragged from Arctic waters holds the remains of a celebrated explorer and the treasures of his final expedition. But on her first dive down to the ship, Marta becomes convinced she has seen a dark figure lurking amid the wreckage. When the Cuban Missile Crisis and the deep chill of a record-breaking winter keep Marta stranded on Cairn Rock, she forms a relationship with Elsie, a local woman working in the island's only hotel. When the ship's artifacts inexplicably disappear, Marta and Elsie have to brave the freezing conditions to search for the missing objects before anyone else catches on. As something eerie seems to follow her at every step, Marta must confront if the haunting is a figment of her imagination, the repercussions from a terrible mistake from her past, or if something more sinister is at play that will trap her and everyone on the island and their secrets in an icy wilderness. So it's like a sapphic, gothic thriller. Great. Sounds good. Yeah, so those are the books that are officially going on my fall TBR. Wish me luck, because there is lots to read just in getting to the books that I have for review, but I have a lot less for next year so far, except that I'm about to go to New York Comic Con, so like honestly this is a never ending problem, but so many of these sound incredible. And I do have a fair number of novellas and novels in verse, so hopefully I can get through those pretty quickly. Lots of fun things for spooky season, which I'm really looking forward to. In the comments down below, drop me a spooky emoji and let me know what your reading plans are for the fall. Do you have things you really want to get to before the end of the year? Do you have spooky witchy books that you want to read in October? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, it always helps if you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.